All right. There we go. All righty, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Very low key day for me today. I'll be honest with you. After moving all that stone, I was like, okay, I am not doing anything. So, but I did. I was on the phone a lot today. Uh, if you have written me an email, I am working my way up. So the first ones that emailed me, I'm answering them first, and I'm working my way up. So we will get into all that in a little bit. But all right. So if we have any interruptions with the stream, I just want to remind everybody that I will get right back right away. And so you probably will not get notifications. I'm getting a lot of people telling me they're not getting notifications. They can't find the stream until I go live. And it's just, that's part of the games that are going on, of course, but that's a continuous thing. So that's how it goes. But hey, 454 Tiger. Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Look forward to talking to you. Um, so anyway, if we have any problems, I will get right back on right away. So just look for me. Like I said, again, you probably won't get a notification. It's part of the games that have been going on lately. So we have to deal with those as we deal with everything else. But again, I would like to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And, you know, just let's be decent. If you can't abide, they're very simple rules, actually. If you can't abide by that, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, they're going to boot you out of here because we're just not going to tolerate it. It's not necessary. I don't want to see it. And so that's what's going to happen with that. Okay. So, hey, Vanessa Doe, thank you very much. She said, Ed, you look great. I'll tell you what, I feel really good. I feel really strong. I've been doing the last few days, I've been trying to do some more fasting. So I'm trying to go longer stretches without eating. And then when I am eating, I'm not like, going crazy eating. So my sister is an excellent cook, and she had made a few meals that were not good for trying to lose weight. So, but yeah, it's like I just, I've been trying to get things squared away. So anyway, we're going to talk. This is how we can help each other. This is how we're going to save each other. All right. So I had mentioned the other day, and I was talking about a prepper underground network. Okay. And this is going to be so I'm going to talk about this first because I think this is really interesting. Now, I'm 55 years old. My mom had never told me this story before. And I'm like, why didn't you ever tell me that before? My great 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 grandmother, her last name was Larker. Um, and that was on my grandmother's side. And she lived in Rochester. Well, way, way back when slavery was around, you had the Underground Railroad. And I think maybe that's why she brought it up because I was talking about this type of situation. And so if you were a slave in the South and you came north into a state that was supposedly free, you could still be arrested, captured, and sent back to the South. And it happened a lot. So what they did a lot of times with the Underground Railroad is they got people up into Canada is the way that they did it because then they could be free in Canada because they didn't have slavery up there. So anyway, my great 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 grandmother was part of that, and I never knew that, and I just thought that that was really really cool, because then I was talking about this idea, and I thought I'm like, wow, how wild is that? And so here's my premise, okay? Obviously on my website I have the Prepperness One community. Some people use it, some people don't, okay? And so there's been a lot of questions from people uh, when I brought this subject up, like how are we vetting people? How are we going to know that these people are squared away and those type of things? Well, here's the cool thing. So I'm going to snowball here, or basically kick out my ideas. I've talked to some people today already, so they already know what I'm going to talk about. But and there'll be more people, as we continue to move forward with this thing. So here's my thought process with it. The Underground Railroad, the way that they had it set up, um, if you were part of it, you may have known the person that was behind you as far as down the road from you is a safety point, and the next one ahead of you. And then that person that was ahead of you, they knew you and they knew the next person ahead of them. So you didn't have a ton of information as far as how many places were safe havens to go to. And that was just for safety reasons that they did that. So my thought is this. If we set up a prepper Underground Railroad, and let me, so before we get into this even more, I want to talk about this really quickly. We are a huge, huge worldwide network of people. Okay. We have a lot more power than people think that we do. Okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why preppers and off-gridders are targets, and they're shown in a bad light in the media because they don't want people doing it. Number one, because if you, the more independent you are, they don't want you to be independent. They want you to be dependent. Okay. But there's that stigma attached with prepping and living off grid and those type of things. But the more that we can work together in that aspect. So when I first got into prepping, before I got onto, YouTube and started doing a channel, and then, once we moved down here to the homestead, we really got going with the channel and stuff like that. When I first got going, I took a lot of crap, okay, from people like, "You're crazy. Why do you do this? That's nuts." And I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't. But there was no way to connect with like-minded people. There was no resource there available, in those type of things. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they can't find people in their area. Okay. So with what I'm talking about, it's going to be completely voluntary. You can either do it or not do it. Like I had somebody made a comment today about, if you can't protect yourself, then you're not worth anything and blah, blah, blah. That person, a person like that with that mindset, long term, they're not going to make it. They're just not going to make it because they have the wrong mindset. And this is my opinion on that. Okay. With building a network of people. Okay. Do you ever plan on building a bunker? And if so, how would you go about doing that? Aaron asked. That's a good question, Aaron. Yes, I do plan on having something underground. It's going to, like I'm going to do a root cellar and a cold freezer, and it's basically dig out part of the hill, concrete everything, make it very, very solid, rebury everything, and then it's going to be underground. And whatever else I do beyond that will be different, and I probably won't discuss a whole lot of that, of what I plan to do as far as that goes. But anyway, yeah, preppers no longer. Tinfoil hat crazy. Texas was a wake-up call. Independent Marine. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure I say your name right here. Independent Marine 3522. All right, man. Well, thank you for that statement. It's very cool. So anyway, with setting up a network, and this is, so let's talk. Okay, we're just going to kind of go step by step. So this is my thought process. Okay, people contact me. They give me their information. And so what I plan on doing, and and again, if you guys can think of a better way or not to do this, feel free to jump in. Email me. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm probably not going to see everybody's thoughts in the chat tonight, because I'm going to try to be, talking about this situation. So here's what my thought is. So you guys send me the information, and I've already had a bunch of people send me information already. Now I plan on reaching out to other prepper channels as well, because that way we have a larger reach. Okay. We're all over the place. We're all over Europe. We're in Australia. We're all over the United States. We're all over Canada. Okay. So how do we all connect and intertwine? Well, here's the beauty of this. Okay. If you decide that you want to be part of this network, email me, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your phone number. I will call you. We'll talk. We'll set things up. So this is the game plan. So I keep bouncing around, but you're going to know. And so you're trying to connect with other people to set up safety nets. And I think this is really, Really important to do this now before SHTF, because what's going to happen in an SHTF event, people are going to be very distrustful of each other. There's not going to be that camaraderie. There's not going to be that brotherhood and sisterhood. Everybody's going to be on edge because there's going to be a lot of people out there, bad actors, looking to do people harm. Okay. So this is why it's really important to forge these relationships now. So you send me information, and what I'm going to do is, let's say we're going to use a 100-mile radius of where you live in all directions, north, west, east, and south, because do you know what direction you're going to need to bug out to? You don't. So if there's a threat coming up from the south and your primarily way that you were thinking of bugging out was to the south, now that's not the way you're going to go. You're going to have to go east, west, or north. Okay. So, and of course you can always circumvent back and head back south. It doesn't make it, but I'm just using that as an example. So you've given me information, and I'm going to use a 100-mile radius as a circumference. And what I'm going to do, any other people that are looking to network in that 100-mile radius, the way that I'm going to do it, let's say, okay, so John is here. This is John's place over here. We'll use Georgia. John is in Georgia, okay, and he's up in the mountains in Georgia. And so other people have contacted me. They've given me their information, said they want to be part of this. And let's say there's 5 people, 2 to the north, 1 to the west, 1 south, and 1 east that are within that 100-mile radius of John. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact John and say, okay, here is the first name and the phone number of this person. So let's say Charlie's one of the guys. So I'm going to give you Charlie's first name and phone number. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to give Charlie your first name and phone number. Then you guys are going to contact each other. All right. And so the way this would work is you're going to talk with each other. If you decide you want to get together and meet, that's completely up to you. After having a conversation with Charlie, you say, you know what? Charlie and I are not on the same page. I don't want to work with Charlie. So there's no harm, no foul. He doesn't know where you live. He doesn't have your address. It's not like I'm going to be giving them your address, okay? I'm basically going to give a phone number and a first name only. So you're going to forge those relationships. You're the one that's going to do the vetting. You're the one that's going to say, yes, I'm comfortable working with this person or not working with this person. Because I want you guys to think about this. Now, like, here I am at my bug out location. This is where I plan on making my stand, and this is where I want to be, right? But if I have an overwhelming force coming this way, we may need to bug out. We may need to get out of Dodge. Where are we going to go? Okay. So if and now don't get me wrong, I have options and I have places that I can go because I've met people through the years with doing what I do. And so I do have options, which is a really good feeling, to be honest with you. But a lot of people don't, and they don't know how to meet somebody, and they don't know how to forge those relationships. So this is what this opportunity is all about. Okay. So if you have to bug out of your current location and you got to go with whatever direction, you've already forged that relationship with that individual. Now, you get out there, you get to their place. You have a couple of choices. You can either decide, yes, we're going to work together because I like Charlie and Charlie's cool, or I'm going to use it for a stop to move on down the road. Now, here's the cool part about it. Charlie knows Bill, who's another 50 miles further down the road out of the circumference that you knew of. But he says, okay, if you go here and, you use whatever code words you decide to come up with, be it your name or whatever the case may be, then you get to that location. And here's the cool thing too. We all know our own areas. Like, I know my area where I live. I know where to go, safe routes to travel, and all those type of things. So everybody that lives in an area knows a safe area. They know their area. They should anyway. They know ways to get out of that area. They know ways to travel so you're not going to be detected and all those type of things. So it's like you come over to Charlie's and Charlie says, okay, I'm going to send you north and I'm going to send you to Bill. And this is the best way to get there. He gives you a map. He gives you directions, what places to avoid, where you don't want to go. He knows the terrain. When should you be traveling? Daytime, nighttime, whatever the case may be. Okay. So that's how that would work. So everybody doesn't know everybody all over the country, but it's interconnected like a spider web, basically. And so it can be a huge, huge thing. And in a post event, and this is what I want you guys to take into consideration. Now, again, my game plan, I'm staying right here. I don't plan on going anywhere. A lot of people have that same mindset. But if you have made these connections with people and say, Charlie's got to bug out, and he knows if I get to Jim's place, I'm going to be safe and I'm going to be fine because Jim's going to take me in because we have developed a relationship with each other. That's what it's all about, okay? And I think that that's a really good way to do that. We need to have those relationships now, not later on afterwards, because it's too late then. There's not going to be the trust. It's just not going to be there, okay? So I just I'm gonna, like I said, guys, with networking, we really I want you guys to think about this, okay? So most of the people watching this show, we're at 9:58 in the chat. So let's do this real quick. Haven't done it yet. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, because we're at 9:50 in here and we got 332 on a thumbs up. So please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel as well. So I thank you for that reason as well. The third reason, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. It's part of a game for me. It amuses me. Okay. So, but I do appreciate you guys doing it as well. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Please make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. Preppers and off-gridders, we have a certain mindset, number one. Okay. Number two, we're the ones that are ready. We are prepared. So I know that if something happens and I got to bug out of this location, I have options where I can go where there are going to be friendly faces there that know who I am. And so, like, say I got 15 people. They may not know all 15 people in my group, but they know me. Okay. Just like Charlie, you may not know all the people in Charlie's group, but you know Charlie. So you trust Charlie. And so Charlie says, hey, listen, these are good people. Let's work together. The safety in numbers in a post event is going to be huge, huge. And if you have that relationship with like-minded people, now that's the most important part to do it. Okay. Prepper's secret password. I love Biden. Oh my God, that's funny. But no, again, all those things can be set up between you guys. When you, like with Charlie, you have like, and again, so here you are, you've decided, okay, Charlie's in the north, Bill is in the west, okay, south of me is Lamar, and Ed is in the east, okay. So each one of those people, you have a different password that you're going to use. So if you're going to send people to them and they come to your location, and like, so Charlie's password is alfalfa. I'm just, or whatever, whatever one you decide that you guys want to do with each other, you work that out. Again, I would encourage people not to have those type of conversations on a phone, because all that can be tracked. That's going to need to be done in person, phones off, or phones put someplace else where things can't be recorded and stuff like that. And this isn't like anything. This is nothing illegal at all. It's just a smart thing to do, because I'm going to tell you what, there are groups out there that are very, very organized. They're very, very prepared. And all of us individuals out here prepping and getting ready, we're sitting ducks if we think we're gonna ride this storm all by ourselves. And that's why I've always said about working together and working and networking and trying to find people for your group. This way here, this is even better, because it's not like, you have to have stuff at my place, or this is where you're going to go, unless you decide that's where you want to go. There's guys and ladies out here, folks, that have really good setups. And they would probably welcome having like-minded people, people that they can connect with, knowing that without hope, we have nothing. Without hope, there's nothing. So let's say here I'm at my homestead and I've put a lot of money into my homestead, which I have, okay? And I got 10,000 people coming. I'm not defeating 10,000 people. I would have to have a small army to try to defeat 10,000 people. Well, I don't have that, okay? So our best option is to bug out, to get out of Dodge, all right? Now, I lose my property and I lose a lot of my stuff that I have here, but, a lot of stuff would be buried along the way and all those type of things. Anyway, pre-planning, just being prepared is a smart thing to do. But you got to have a hope. What now? What are we doing? If you have no plan, if you have no plan at all, now you're lost. Hey, Spike, the lone wolf prepper will ultimately fail. Absolutely, because here's what's going to happen. Thank you very much for the donation. Thank you for the statement. You're the lone wolf prepper. You're doing it all by yourself. It's you, your wife, and a couple of kids, and you're screw everybody else. I'm ex-military. I'm ex-special forces, and I can do it all and stuff like that. So I don't need anybody else, right? Now you fall, you have a mechanical injury. You've twisted an ankle, a knee, or you've broken a leg. Now you get sepsis, and you get an infection, and you die. Well, guess what? Your wife and kids are still there. What are they doing? But you were the big hero. You were the big guy that was going to save the day, but now you're done. So again, that's where that safety in numbers comes in. It takes a village to raise a child. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that. In a post-event, it's going to take a village to keep everybody safe. I don't think people really realize how truly bad it would be in a post-event. You look at events that have happened, guys. All you got to do, not just what they're going to show you on the television with the media and stuff like that. Look at what really goes on. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said, and I've said it before, Katrina was a huge, huge wake-up call for me. The looting, people killing each other, shooting at each other, and all that type of stuff, and the insanity that went on. I looked at that and I'm like, it's a very, very thin veil. It's a very thin veil between being civilized and anarchy. And there's that old saying, we're 9 meals away from anarchy. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you have heard of this, okay? Think about now we're used to eating every day, right? All of us, we eat a couple times a day, 2, 3 times a day, and then we snack in between or whatever we do, right? We're all used to that. Think about not eating for 3 straight days. And think about how hungry you would be at that point, okay? And, you're going to become very, very desperate, very frustrated. You're going to probably be overtired. You may even possibly be sick on top of the fact. And there's so many factors that go into it. You're not going to think clearly. In a post-event, you better keep your head on straight. And the best way to do that is having people that are going to have your back, that you know that you can trust, that when you go to sleep, you know they're not going to kill you, and take your stuff, okay? Hugely, hugely important. Being a newer prepper, I would love this, but I have a small fear of being a burden on others. Hey, Gray Sky Preps, nobody's a burden in a post-event. Nobody's a burden. S. Colorado Stetter, thank you very much for the donation, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I want you to think about this, guys. Those people that think that they're a burden, okay? We have a lot of older preppers, a lot of senior preppers, I guess is the right word. You're valuable because of a lot of different factors. You have a lot of information. You have knowledge that a lot of the younger people don't have. The younger people are going to have the strength and the stamina to do the different things that they need to do. Here, hold on a second, guys. I want to read this one. Bizarrizajiz just said, the Superdome was a catastrophe, gathering of many people. Yes, and there was a lot of rapes. There was a lot of murders that happened at the Superdome. Don't put yourself in those type of situations. Again, if you set yourself up to rely on, the system to try to take care of you, that's a nightmare in that type of situation, and they're not prepared for it. They're not. In a post event, depending on what the post event is, there may be no help coming. So again, it's really important that we help ourselves and we are ready for these type of things. And the more organized and the more squared away we are, it just puts us all in a better position to survive. The biggest key, I'm going to tell you right now, and I want you to think about this. The first year in a post event, and I always want to use a year, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to use a year. SHTF hits the fan in the summertime. Okay, you're going to have people marauding, going out, looting, doing whatever they're going to do, have no clue how to prepare and have no clue how to get ready. That first winter comes, it's going to take a lot of those type of people out. Okay. The other thing you got to think about, when the drugs run out for your hardcore drug addicts, a lot of them are going to be gone probably within the first few months. Um, hey, Hurricane Rip. Hey, Ed, I'm looking into setting up another cache location. Also have backup plans for my backup plans. And that's a smart way to do it, man. Very, very smart way to do it. Thank you very much for the statement. And thank you so much for the donation as well. The more options that you have in a post event, everything is an advantage. Everything is an advantage. Hey, Zine, we need FetLife platform for preppers and then hold monthly meetings. You know what? I don't always think that that's the best way to do it. I really don't. Hey, John Sabo, thank you very much for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Matthew, thank you for everything. Ed, currently working on my STDs on my new acreage. I will shoot an email of the underground prepper. Great idea. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation as well. Setting things up where you have a platform, I don't know if that's a really great idea, because a lot of bad actors can get involved in something like that as well. Again, if you as an individual are vetting the people that you like, I'm the central guy, let's just say. Let's say we get Canadian Prepper on board. We get Angry Prepper on board down in New York City. We get Doug and Stacy on board, and we get, a lot of these other YouTubers that are out there. All right. They have their group of people that have been watching them forever and stuff like that. They can set up this type of thing in their area, and it can just snowball and spread out from there. Like, all of us, the larger channels, could talk and say, okay, well, who do you got in Oklahoma? And say, well, I got, this person and this person. Let's connect these people together. This could be something that could be fantastic. Hey, Todd. Hey, Ed, which would be the best to have, an actual oil lantern or an LED lantern that takes AA batteries? Well, unless you have a way to recharge those batteries, be it a battery pack or like the portable battery pack that you could recharge those batteries, that would be great if you had that. But again, rechargeable batteries are still only going to last so long. An oil lantern, you're not just limited to burning lamp oil. You can burn a lot of different things in there as well. My suggestion, honestly, if it was my choice, I would have both. Realistically, I would have both because it gives you more options. But thank you very much for the question, and also thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate it. But again, I plan on reaching out. I plan on reaching out to other channels as well and see if they want to work together with this too. And if we can get this set up, I think this would be a great thing. So what I'm doing with you guys is I'm putting it out here. I've had a huge response so far. So if I haven't gotten back to you yet, please be patient. I will. What I did, whoever emailed me first, those were the first people I contacted. Pretty much probably anybody that emailed me today probably didn't hear from me, because I was going up through this list, talking with people, leaving messages. And then, some of the people were calling me back, or they were home and I talked to them. And so I'm trying to get this thing set up. Again, I'm going to reach out. So all of you guys out there that watch the different channels as well, anybody that watches Doug and Stacy or whoever, have them, if they're interested, tell them what I'm doing. We're going to do the Underground Prepper Railroad. Yeah, I can't even speak today. Sorry. But, tell them what we got going on. Tell them to reach out to me, shoot me an email. I would love to work with other channels as well, because I really do think it's important. Again, we're in a position where we got a lot of reach. You look at, and I don't know if Canadian Prepper does live streams. Patriot Nurse is one that does live streams. She's got a pretty big audience. So she's somebody that could, and I'm not even sure where she's at. I think she's in the South. Southern Prepper One is another one that comes to mind. He's got a pretty decent reach as far as a good size audience. Hey, S. Colorado Stetter, thank you very much for the donation. Hey, John, MSG didn't show on previous. Oh, hold on a second. Travis from the Prepared Homestead was trying to set up connections lists like this too. Not sure if he got it going. I believe this is the video. Okay, well, thank you, man. I do appreciate that information. Again, and thank you for that information. Thank you so much for the donation. What I want you guys to do, because time-wise, I'm trying to answer emails at this point. I'll be honest with you. Any of you out there that are watching, if you follow other channels, whoever channels that you, Patriot Nurses in Tennessee, okay, cool. Any of the other channels, reach out to them. Say, hey, listen, Prepper Nurse One is trying to set up this network. Here's his email. Shoot them a message. Say, if they give me their phone number, I'll be more than happy to call them and talk with them. Again, I think that if the different channels we work together with this, we could really make something awesome. People don't realize. Okay, so going back to what I was saying before, when I first got started, I felt very alone. I felt really alone because I didn't know how to reach out, how to talk to people or stuff like that. So once I got into YouTube, it really came to that where I'm like, okay, now I can talk with people. I've made connections. I've met so many awesome people. You guys have no idea. Okay. But the thing is, we have so much power and we have so much strength, because I want you to think about this, guys. We're the ones that are ready. All right. Now the government's ready. They're going to save their elites and they're going to save those people in their bunkers and do all that type of stuff. But what about the rest of us? What about the average everyday guy? We don't. Okay. So we have each other. That's what we have. If we work together and we reach out and try to help each other, man, I'll tell you, there's no stopping us, because we would be a huge force to be reckoned with. A huge force to be reckoned with. And like I said, again, the time to do it is now, because in a post event, it's going to be too late. It's going to be way too late. Okay. So just putting that out there. Eddie, many moving to Rumble because of the YouTube games. Yeah. I understand. And I know a lot of people are doing that, but, Ed, remember, this is a community on his website. Well, we're a huge community. All of us are, realistically. We're the influence that we could have, the difference that we can make, the people that we can help. See, that's like my biggest thing. The way that I try to look at things in a post event, if something happens, I want to try to help as many people as I can. And when I say help people to help themselves. Teach them. That's what you got to do. You got to be a teacher. That's what a lot of us are going to end up being, because we have the knowledge. We have the preparations in place. We know what we're doing. We've been gardening. We have been, purifying water. We know how to do all those things. A lot of people don't even know how to make a fire. So think about it as something as simple as teaching people how to get a fire going. It's just like with Mom and Becky here. A lot of times I'll go over to their place in the morning and they have a real hard time getting the fire going. Well, I'm in there for 2 minutes and boom, the fire's going and it's great. But I've been doing it for years and years and years because I just know what I'm doing. I mean, literally, I can get a fire going, guys, with a piece of coal as big as my pinky nail. That big. That little bitty piece of a hot coal. Give me that little bitty piece of hot coal and I'll get a fire going off of it. Just because that's a game for me and I like doing that. I think it's fun. But again, it's like we're going to be the teachers. We're going to be the ones that are going to make a difference in helping people in that type of post-event type of situation. And, again, if we're connected and we're working together and we agree that, yes, something happens, you can come to me. and you can come here and you're going to be safe, and you're not going to be shot when you get here. You're going to be open or welcomed with open arms, because again, that networking, working together, making those plans now, when that time comes, it's going to be really nice to see a friendly face, especially, and I want you to think about this, and I don't think a lot of people do. The stress of the way it's going to be in the world in a post event is going to be horrible. Hey, Johnny Freedom Seed. Definitely a great community around. See a lot of the same people in the chat from the channel I follow, the channels I follow. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. And you know what? It is a great community. We have a lot of like-minded people. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well, man. I do appreciate it. We have an opportunity, guys. And obviously, ladies. When I say guys, I mean everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So I just usually just use guys. Okay. But we have an opportunity to really solidify ourselves and increase our chances of survival exponentially in a post event. The key in a post event is getting through that first year. You make it through that first year, and a lot of the bad actors are going to be gone, because they're either going to die of lead poisoning, they're going to die from stupidity, they're going to die because they don't know what they're doing or how to prepare, and they haven't gotten ready for the winter the way the rest of us are going to be getting ready for winter. Okay. So, while we're hunkering down and we have a full belly, and, we got the fire going and we can stay warm, they're going to be freezing. They're going to be miserable. They're going to be dying of frostbite. They're going to, they're going to be holed up in cabins someplace, and then they're going to start eating each other. Okay. It would be really, really bad. And so, again, you get through that first year, and a lot of your problems are going to be gone. I'm going to tell you what, and I've always said this: when SHTF happens, I hope it happens in the wintertime. I really, truly do, because that's the time of year when you're going to have your most casualties. You're going to have the most people that are completely unready and unprepared. A lot of them are going to be gone pretty quickly, probably within the first 3 months. But those of us that are ready, those of us that are prepared, we're going to be in a lot better situation. But knowing people around you, and knowing that if you get overrun and you have to grab that bug out bag and get out of Dodge, and if I go west, I have some place I can go to the west. If I have to go east, I have some place I can go to the east, north, and south as well. And again, if you have people willing to say, all right, like for me, I have a lot of people planning on coming here. That's their game plan. That's why I continue to work on my infrastructure. That's why I continue to work on what I'm doing here. Okay. How would people die of lead? Lead poisoning, bewitching charm. They would be shot. They'll die of lead poisoning. They'll be shot. You come doing stupid stuff, acting stupid in a post event, your chances of survival long term are not going to be good. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to shoot first and ask questions later. Wolfbane Hollow, Grim Survival and other channels are already setting something up. You may want to contact them and see what they have. Oh, hold on a second. What they have in place already. Yeah, I have, like I said, I have no problem with doing any of that. And like I said, I do plan on reaching out and talking to other preppers as well, and prepper channels and stuff like that, and seeing if we can all work together. Because again, I think it's a great idea. It's not about, I want you guys to remember, this is not about, I have to be in control. I have to be in charge. It's not about that. This is not what this is about for me. The more of you that survive, the more of you that are not victims, that's less people out there trying to take from other people, that are trying to hurt other people, and are also in a position to hopefully help other people. My selfish motivation for this is, I don't want you to die. I want you to survive. And the more options that we have, and the more ways that we can put things together, we're going to be in a lot better situation. And that's my motivation. So I mean, I don't care if Southern Prepper 1 down, I think he's in Tennessee as well. I think. I'm not 100%. No, he's in South Carolina, I think. I think he's in South Carolina. So if he says, well, hey man, I know these people down here and we can, connect them. Great. And I know these people up here and I know some down there and we can exchange some names and numbers for people. So I think that's a good idea. Hey, Seth, I ain't going anywhere. Live free or die trying. Oh, I totally get you. I understand that. But you never know if you have to be in that position where you have to bug out. That's what you got to think about. That's what you really got to think about. Guys, we're up to over 1,100 people in the chat. We're at 589 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that really quickly, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Um, Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I would thank you for doing it for that reason as well. And I do appreciate that as well. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up is the third reason. So thank you for doing that. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications. And if you're already subscribed, make sure that your notifications are on, that YouTube has not turned them off. Also, make sure that YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you, because they do that a lot as well. So, again, we gotta pay attention. That's all. It's always about paying attention. So really quickly, I want to talk about my website, preppernurse1.com. We do have the Prepper Nurse 1 community there too. That's another resource. You can join that. It is free to join. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked, okay? Also, we have Jay Daga. Why do I keep saying Jay Daga? I don't know. It's been on my mind lately. I got to actually contact them. But anyway, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you will see the logo for Forefathers. CBD products are awesome. It helps with a lot of different things. It's also a very good prep to have for a post-event. If you go there, you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and it will save you 15% on your purchase. So definitely take advantage of that as well, okay? Also, on my website, preppernurse1.com, if you go there, you click on store, it'll drop down, it'll say Legacy Foods. It's the freeze-dried foods, 25-year shelf life, GMO-free. It is made in the United States. It's made in Utah, okay? Also, it is the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. It is vegan, and also there is meat options if you want to add meat as well. And there is also gluten-free options as well. And but again, it's a really good thing to have. You should have that in your long-term food storage as well. So definitely take advantage of that as well. So really quickly, I want to mention two websites, especially Bizarizajizza. If you guys would throw that up there so that people can see the link. He's got his series going, his EMP series that he's doing right now. It's really, really good. A lot of good information you can take out from just listening to what he's saying, because it's going to give you ideas. And always more ideas is a good thing. The other one is Ickycan, Ickycan. He's up in Canada. He also, really good channel, unbelievable builder. As the weather gets better, I think you're going to see he'll probably be doing more building this year. I think that's what he told me he was going to do. Really down-to-earth guy, fantastic builder, takes really good care of his animals. So definitely check that out as well. Okay, so those are two that I always want to mention because they're smaller channels and we got to support each other. Obviously, I like Marfugal News as well. I think he's got a great channel out there on the West Coast. There's a tremendous amount of other channels as well. How do we get signed up for the Prepper Underground? Okay, the Truth Warrior. This is the way we're going to do this. If you are interested in being part of the Prepper Underground Railroad, email me at preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Okay, you email me there. Give me your name and your number. I will be contacting you. I will call you. So I mean, I don't have calling to Europe, so we would have to email if you're over in Europe. But if you are in Canada or the United States, I can call you. I was talking to somebody in Canada today. Okay, so I will call you. We'll get things set up, and as we get it built up and we start getting places for the different states, you're going to get that information, and we're going to start sharing and trying to network like that. Okay, so definitely do that. That's the way we're going to get this started. And again, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion, because if I'm, like I said, I plan on reaching out to the different channels. And I think that if we can work together, and they're willing to do it. So here's the thing. What is the monetary gain for me? Nothing. Nothing. Okay. If other prepping channels are still willing to put the work in to try to help other people, because I think that's how it should be, that we should all be doing that. I think this could be a huge thing. But unfortunately, some people are money driven. Okay. This isn't about money for me. This, again, for me, I want as many of you to survive as you possibly can. That's the important thing for me. So the more of us that survive whatever's going to happen, I think the better shape we're going to be. Okay. Well, let's do this. So again, if you want to be part of the Prepper Underground, email me preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your phone number. I will contact you. If you're overseas, if you're in Australia, or if you're in Europe someplace, we'll have to email exchange. That's how we'll have to do that over there. But we can still, I would still want your number. So if there's other people in Australia, we can still exchange that number with them so that you guys can connect that way. I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great thing that we could do with each other. So let's do the egg count really quickly now, guys. Yesterday, we had, I think it was 8 eggs yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was 8 that we ended up having yesterday. Ed, you have a home in Southwest Virginia. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I do appreciate that. And like I said, I mean, for me, guys, I'm going to tell you, I want as many people that are, if I connect with, we talk, we like each other. I would want more people to be able to know that they could come here, that they could keep supplies on site. And that's part of it as well, if you want to do it that way as well. So let's see what we got. We're looking at the count here, guys. Okay, finally somebody had the right number. If you had the same number of eggs as Music Mad with 3 eggs, we only ended up with 3 eggs today. I do not know why, but that's where we were at today. So we had 8 eggs yesterday. Today we ended up only having 3, but those days are going to happen. You're going to have that happen. So I wanted to put this out here as well, guys. If you email me, I'm basically going from whoever emailed me first, and I'm going to work my way up. So if you don't hear from me for a couple days, I had a couple people today that I contacted them, and they were like, "I can't believe you contacted me." Well, you emailed me, and I wanted to make sure. I'm just like going up this list. So I'm going to try to take some time every day and start answering these emails and reaching out to people, and we're going to try to get things set up. And that's what I want to do. I think this is so important. I really do. And again, if we can pull in some of these other channels, think about like with Wranglestar, the reach that he has out there in, what's he up in Montana, something like that. I'm not even sure. Ed, I'm looking to build a tiny coop and get just a couple of pullets to start the summer. May I contact you for further advice? Thanks. Candace, absolutely. Guys, if you have questions and stuff like that, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll try to help. I think your hens may be hiding their eggs. There's really no place for them to hide them, though. I don't, because I go into the greenhouse and I look all, because like today, because it was only the 3 eggs, I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I was looking in the greenhouse, and I did not see any other eggs in the greenhouse. And there was 2 of the eggs were in the box. One was outside again. So whoever that one chicken is laying outside. Now, I do have, I think I may have told you guys this. I'm not 100% sure. My one chicken that is recovering, she's doing much, much better. Well, she now has a companion. One of the chicks that I had from last year, she was getting beat up pretty bad as well. So she is now with that other chicken, and they're both separated from the flock. And I'm not putting them back in with the flock until they have all their feathers back, until they're fully recovered. And so that's what I'm going to do with that. But so that's what's going on. Unfortunately, and I have tried to give away these extra roosters that I have. Nobody wants them. Okay, so unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do, and I tried to I tried to get Greg to do it, and Greg was like, "Man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to dispatch him." And what I'm going to do, because it's not an SHTF situation at this point in time, and it's not the end of the world as we know it, I'm going to give the roosters to Greg and Chris after I dispatch them, and they can have them and they can eat them. I raise these chickens, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. Now, I'm going to tell you 100% honestly, SHTF happened tomorrow. I'm going out there and I'm thinning that herd out. I'm going to start, it would be tomorrow, I would start incubating eggs. So, that's what I would do. It's a whole different ball game when it's the end of the world as we know it. I would want to keep my younger hens that are going to be more viable. They're going to lay me the eggs and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, I'd take the rooster. Too bad you're so far. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If anybody would want them, I would be more than happy to, would work with somebody, depending on how far away you guys were. But one rooster for 10 hens is the norm. Right. And right now I want to keep my 2 roosters, and I need to get rid of these other 2 roosters. And when I add more chickens this year, I'm going to get them sexed. I don't want more roosters. So, hey, Cat Lady Prepper, I'm in New York. So, yeah, guys, listen, if anybody wants these 2 roosters, I would rather give them away to somebody where they could have a happy life and they could have their own flock of hens. If you want to, contact me, shoot me an email on that too. I would be more than happy to work with somebody and work something out where, and I'm giving them away. If you want them, they're free. It's not like I want anything, because I don't want anything for them. But I'm going to have to dispatch them otherwise. And I don't want to have to do it, but I can't have them wearing out my hens. I got too many roosters, and that's not good. So, again, I do plan on adding more hens this year, but I got to get those 2 roosters out. They got to go. So, how close to Buffalo? Hour and a half. Hour and a half from Buffalo. So, but anyway, guys, again, if you want to be part of the Prepper Underground Railroad, please email me, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your phone number. I will call you. We'll put you on the list, and then we'll go from there. So, like, I want you to know that I'm not going to share all of your information with your contacts. They're going to get your phone number. They're going to get your first name only. If you decide it's somebody that you want to work with, that's great. If you decide you don't want to work with them, that's going to be your choice as well. So you guys are going to be the ones doing the vetting. So, if you want to, I'm going to tell you what, to me, talking to somebody on the phone gives you a pretty good idea what kind of person they are. If you meet that person in person, like at a restaurant or a coffee shop or something, you sit down, you have a meal together, and you talk about things. You're going to get a lot better idea if that's somebody that you would be willing to work with or not in a post event. And that's what my recommendation, that would be my recommendation as far as that. That's how you should do it. So, it's not like you're going to say, hey, Ed, is Charlie a good person? Well, maybe I think Charlie's a good person. Maybe you don't like Charlie. You know what I mean? So that's something that you have to do for yourselves to figure out if that's going to work. But I think that if we can get this going, it'll be like a huge spider web. They call the internet, they call it the web, because it's interconnected all over the place. We are a huge, huge family. We are a huge legion, because we really, truly are many. There's a lot of us all over the place. All over Canada, all over the Northeast, all over in the West. I mean, all in the South, wherever, in the Midwest, Arizona, California. There's people everywhere, and there's a lot of us. And if we can start forging those relationships, it can really make a difference of life and death in a post event. It really can. And so that's like I probably am never gonna get together or meet people that are prepping together in, let's say Northern California, and you become part of the prepper network, the underground network, okay? And I've, talked to you on the phone, and then we've said, okay, well, we're gonna, I'm gonna give you some names, and you call those people, and you end up forging a relationship. In a post event, you're gonna be like, man, I'm glad we did that, because it's going to give you an advantage. Everything you have to do, everything with prepping is about giving you an advantage, increasing your chances for survival. That's what it's all about. And that's what we need to be focusing on. Prepping is great. I mean, prepping is fantastic. Having supplies, having things ready, and stuff like that. But if you are a family of 5, okay, and I'm just going to use this as an example, guys. You're a family of 5. You have 2 people that know how to handle guns in a group. There's this other group over here of 50 or 75 people, and they have 40 people that know how to handle themselves and handle a weapon. What are your chances? So you need to think about that. Okay. Do you join that group? Maybe they have some ideas and some whacked out stuff that you don't even want to be no part of. Okay. There will be, in a post event, there's going to be whack job lunatic, groups out there that, have their own agenda, and you're going to need to make a decision. Do I want to be part of that or not be part of that? So again, do you think living in a blue versus red state would make a difference in this situation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I'm going to tell you what, preppers are of a certain mindset. Preppers are a certain mindset, and they're always going to be of a certain mindset. So it don't matter if you're in a blue state or a red state, it's not going to make any kind of difference. We think differently than other people. I live in a freaking blue state, okay? New York State always goes Democrat. But if you get into the central part of New York State, it's very conservative. It's very, very red. But because there's so many people, New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, there's a high concentration of people, and you have a lot more liberal thinking people in those areas. And being a liberal is not necessarily a bad idea, a bad thing. I don't want people to think that, oh, all liberals are a bunch of crackpots and lunatics. There are extreme groups within the liberal community, okay? Just like there's extreme groups in the conservative community, okay? Your Democratic community, Republican community. So there's going to be good and bad in both sides. What you're trying to do is you're trying to position yourself with the right people when the time comes to work with them for bettering your chances of survival. If you have, okay, here's another good example. You're an awesome prepper. You've been prepping for years and years and years, but you're by yourself, okay? Number one, you can only shoot one gun at a time. So I don't care if you have 100,000 rounds of ammunition, you're shooting one gun at a time. Now, having several guns there and loaded, that's all well and great. But if you have an overwhelming force coming at you, they can suppress you down with fire so that you can't even get a shot off, come around the backside and take you out, and you'd be done in no time at all. And then guess what? Then now they have all your preps as well. So, but if you have made connections and you know that I can work with this person, maybe I want to keep some stuff at their location, because if I have to get out of Dodge, like, for those folks that live in apartments, okay, you live in a city or you live in an apartment, you got to get out of Dodge. That's not a safe place to be, and you know that, okay? So if you have this location that you know that you can get to, and maybe it's 100 miles, maybe it's 150 miles, but you forge that relationship, you're willing to work together, you're showing an effort. Calling somebody up and saying, yeah, I'm going to work with you, and then doing absolutely nothing, that shows you what kind of person that is. But if you have somebody willing to work with you and wants to put things on site and wants to put themselves in a situation where they're bettering their chances of survival, they're willing to work with you and help you. So here's another thing I did want to mention. Hopefully this year we can get the prepper get together going again. I want to do it. I want to make it an annual thing. So I want to do it every single year. So if we can do that, I think that that will be an awesome, awesome thing. And it's another way to network, connect with like-minded people as well. Again, when we did the prepper get together 2 years ago, it was fantastic. It was a big, huge brother and sisterhood. People from all over the country sitting down, talking. We're all on the same page. We all have the same mindset. So it was amazing to be able to sit down with people that think the same way that you do and say, well, bounce ideas off each other. And that's exactly what that was. There was a couple of ladies at the prepper get together that I think were between 5 and 7 miles apart, had no idea about each other, but because they came to the prepper get together, they ended up meeting and they ended up working together after that. That's what that type of thing is about. It's getting together, sharing ideas. If you have something that you think that other preppers should have, then great, and sharing those type of things. I think it's just a really good idea, and it's a lot of fun. It really, really is a lot of fun. So, but I think this is something that can really work. I really, truly do. And so, uh, you ever hear them chant USA at a Biden event? Yeah, me neither. Yeah, right, exactly. Don't have it in New York yet. I can't come to them. Why not? Why can't you come to New York? Are you banned from New York? That's where we would have to do it. If we're going to do a prepper get together, it would definitely be here in New York. A lot of military helicopters flew low over our property today. That Spencer Carroll just said that. Yeah, and here's the other thing, guys, and do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if we end up in a war soon. Would not shock me. There will be some false flag that happens to try to get the people in the country behind it and rah, rah, rah. These horrible people, we need to go and we need to, show them. And I think that's going to be a manipulation that's done once again. Would not surprise me. Last time I was in New York, they was rude to me and I left and never went back. Depends on what part of New York you're in. Really does. New York City is a whole different kettle of fish than where I'm at. I'm in upstate New York. People are way different, a lot more laid back. Once you get out of Letchworth State Park. Yep, that's where we did it 2 years ago. I'm hoping to be able to do that there this year. So I do have to get over in contact with the park and see if they have that open enough so that I could book a pavilion again. Again, we had a fantastic, and here's the best part. So everybody came, we all worked together. At the end of the day, there was, the people that were still there. We all picked up together. We all cleaned everything up together. We left that pavilion spotless. Took our garbage out of there. You don't leave the garbage behind, and it was awesome. It was awesome. But I definitely want to do that again this year. The pavilions have a fireplace in there, so we could, I think you can be in the pavilion till like 10 o'clock. And if you wanted to drink a beer, you brought whatever you wanted to drink. What I had asked people to do at the prepper get together 2 years ago, bring a dish to pass. You bring a dish to pass, and I'm going to tell you, and I supplied like the hot dogs and hamburgers, all the condiments as far as that, paper plates and paper towels and all that type of stuff. And if you wanted alcohol or something to drink, you brought your own. And again, there was nobody acting like a jerk. It was so fun, and it was such a nice gathering, and it was really, really cool. And I can't wait. I was so hoping to do it last year because I knew last year it would be bigger than the year before. And I think, even if we're able to do it this year, I think that we'll have a huge crowd this year. I think it would be very, very cool. And I would like to see where everybody would come from. At Letchworth State Park, which is cool, they have campsites that you can rent. So you could go there if you got an RV, and rent a spot. And there's even surrounding places around that area where you can go and you can rent, some place to stay for the night and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool too. And I'm going to tell you what, they call Letchworth State Park the Grand Canyon of the East. It is an absolutely beautiful gorge. Just to drive through it, I think it's like 17 miles to drive through it. It is just a very cool drive. There's a lot of stuff you can see, a lot of beautiful waterfalls. just doing some hiking, all those type of things. It's awesome, awesome place. And, it was really, really cool. And the park rangers they were cool as well. You know what I mean? We had parked a couple of cars up by the pavilion because we were unloading them. And they had come up and they were like, yeah, you can't keep these cars parked here. You got to park them down in the parking lot. And I'm like, yeah, we're just unloading stuff. And they were like, okay, no problem. And they were just, well, first of all, we weren't jerks. So they weren't jerks, and that's what it's all about. So we unloaded and we put the cars down in the parking lot. So, but a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to doing that again. I think it's going to be a really good time. So let's hope that we can do that this year. So I'm going to be checking into that probably March or April and see what they have of the availability if we can do it. If we're going to do it, it's probably going to be in July. Most people are off in July, so it would be probably early July, because I know in the South, kids go back to school in August. I want to make sure that if you want to bring your kids, you bring your kids and just have a great time, and that way your kids can see that all preppers aren't crazy. All preppers are pretty squared away people. For the most part, I think most preppers are very, very squared away. So. Ed, if you have another one, can I bring my wife? I would love to interact with other preppers. Absolutely. You can bring whoever you want to bring. See, that's the beauty of it. This isn't limited to anybody. We're not saying that these people can come and these people can't come. If you want to come, you come. And I'm going to tell you something funny too. So my one buddy who lives down in Maryland, Steve, when we did the prepper get together 2 years ago, he had said to me, well, aren't you concerned that people that hate you and stuff like that may show up? And I'm like, no, not at all. I said, and there's two reasons why. Most of the people that hate you, they're internet trolls or keyboard warriors. They would never have the balls to say anything to your face that they would say protected in their mommy's basement. So those type of people, they're not going to show up. And if they did and tried to cause trouble, everybody that was there to get together, to meet me, and to gather together. They wouldn't tolerate it either. So I had a whole group of people that would have had my back. You know what I mean? If somebody came there trying to cause problems, and that was cool too. So like I said, we had no problems, and I don't think that we would. I really don't think that we would, because it's just like I said, it's that camaraderie, it's that brother and sisterhood. It's that like-minded people working together, which is very, very cool. So, yeah, JJ's putting it out there, Letchworth State Park. And here's the best part. So we did Eddie's Pavilion, EDDYS. That was one of the ones that was available. And I thought, how perfect is that? How perfect is that? So that's what we went with. And I'd like to do the same thing. Ed, how deep is your well? Okay, my well is 130 feet deep. I also have springs on the property as well with other water. The one that I found the spring when we put in the trench for the solar system, I found a spring in there. And so I have that set up it's actually, believe it or not, that's underneath the battery room. That's kind of where that guy ended up getting set up. But I can access that water in there as well. And it's got a cap on it. Put a siphon hose down there, and you could siphon that water up, and you would have water that way too. There's also other water sources on the property as well. So there's a lot of options as far as water here at the homestead. Over where I want to put the pond, it's always an area that is always wet, no matter how dry of the year time of the year it is. It's an area over there that's always wet. So there is a spring over in that area. So when I dig that area up, I want to utilize that as well. So, but yeah, it's just like I said, I have a lot of plans that I want to do here. I want to get a lot of things done, and we will, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be another fun year here at the homestead. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm gonna have a lot of tired days, but I'm okay with that. I really am. And so as soon as like I said, we're starting to get some more decent weather. The gravel's in the greenhouse now, so there's a couple other things that I can do in there before the weather, breaks, and I can get outside and start working on other things. So really looking forward to doing stuff this year. And like I said, I love the workout. I really do. I pay for it. I heard afterwards. I'm not going to lie, but it is very, very rewarding. So yeah, Ed's mom has a well of Labatt's. That's right. That's right. She likes to pound them down. She's awesome. Mom is a sweetheart. So somebody asked today, when I talked to them, and so you guys know where's mom. Her name is Chris. My mother's name is Chris. So if anybody else was wondering, so Ed, if a well was cap and uncap, well, hold on a second. If a well was capped, can it be uncapped and used? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, it can be uncapped and used. Yep. But I would filter any water that you got out of it. That's what I would absolutely do. Do you have a generator? Hold on a second. That runs your well. I'm looking for one to use for emergencies. Not sure where to start with that. That was the Ridge Homestead. I do have a generator that I can use for the well. I don't need to use a generator for the well. Because it's an artesian well, so the water's always coming up. But I do have a pump in the bottom of the well, and so I fill up my water tank with that. So, but just a regular generator, 120. Now, you don't need the 240 for that. Hey Esther, I live in Northwest Missouri, and I don't know anyone around except trying to make a 50-ish mic trek to feel safe. Can shoot, but just me and my husky. Well, Esther, like I said, again, shoot me an email, give me your information, give me your phone number, and we'll get you in the prepper community list for the Underground Railroad, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I can find some other like-minded people not too far from you that you can contact, that you can talk with, and hopefully make those connections. I think that's it's hugely, hugely important. Okay. But Ed, are you still thinking about a dual fuel generator? Yes, I would like to down the road here. What I would like to do is I would like to get my generator set up for propane, and that it could be an automatic start. So if the batteries got to a certain point, that the generator kicks on automatically, and then I don't have to go out there and fill it up with gas and all those type of things in the wintertime. But it's with the way the weather has been, we've had some really good days, some sunny days here. Those are days we don't have to use a generator at all. And as we get into the warmer weather and the longer days, it's just going to make it better. So that's a cool thing too. So anyway, let's do this really quickly, guys. We are Legion. Well, before we do We Are Legion, one last call for thumbs up. We're at 773 on the thumbs up. Let's see if we can't get that up closer to 900 before we jump off of here. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And again, thank you ahead of time. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better off it will be. So I thank you for that reason as well. And of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up is the third reason. So thank you for doing that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So we are Legion. We are many. We are a huge group of people all over the world, all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? So we have Missouri, Southern Maryland. Let's see, we have Buffalo, New York, Dublin, Ohio, Christmas Valley, Oregon, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Columbus, Ohio, Missouri, Hudson, Florida, Melbourne, Australia, Montreal, Canada, Colorado, Newburgh, New York, BC, Canada, Central Iowa, Northwestern Pennsylvania. Let's see, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Ulster Park, New York, Cape Cod, Lansing, Michigan. We have Carroll, Iowa, Buffalo, New York, Northwest Arkansas, Eastern North Carolina, Northeast Ohio, Denver, Colorado. We have Colorado, Beech Grove, Indiana, Piedmont, Alabama, Texas, Newfoundland, Mesa, Arizona, Zephyr Hills, Florida. Let's see. Canada, Ontario, Mississauga, very nice. Southwest Florida, Wisconsin, York, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Washington, South Arkansas, East Central Illinois, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Canandaigua, New York, Las Vegas, Cleveland, Ohio, Troy, Vermont, Darien, Oregon, Endicott, New York, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Illinois, Holly, New York, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Albion, New York. Grew up there for a while as a kid. Trumbull County, Ohio, Edgewater, Florida. We have Tennessee, Western Oregon. Let's see, Oklahoma and the Panhandle, Bastrop, Texas, Nova Scotia, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, New Zealand, Missouri and the Ozarks. We have Switzerland, Connecticut, Iowa, Washington on the east side, Minnesota, North Wellington County. We have the UK, Kentucky. So again, guys, we're all over the place, all over the country, all over the world. We are a huge, huge family. We're a huge network of people. We really, truly are. And we are the ones that really can make a difference. We can make a difference now, and we can make a difference in the post event. Again, if you are looking to connect, if you are in the UK, if you are in Australia, I'm probably not going to be able to call you, but you can email me, and I'll try to, give me your numbers anyway, and I'll definitely get back with you, and we will try to network you with other people in the UK or Australia or whatever other country that you're in. We'll try to get those connections for you guys, and hopefully you can end up connecting with some people where you live and working together. Also, again, if you are in, the States, or if you're in Canada, definitely shoot me an email. Give me your number. I will call you. We'll get that connection list started. Again, if you watch other channels, go to the other channels and say, hey, listen, Prepper Nurse One is setting up a Prepper Underground Railroad. Let's be part of that. If you want to be part of that, he's asking that you contact him. Ask them to contact me, whoever it may be. Okay. And I'm absolutely willing to talk and work with anybody. Hey, Amanda, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we got Quebec, Canada. Hadn't seen that one. Portland, Oregon. Alaska. Very cool. Hillside, New York. A few more places that I hadn't mentioned before. But again, guys, we're this huge, huge family. And we have an opportunity right now to really solidify ourselves and to try to guarantee our own survival. I want you to do it for selfish reasons as well. I want you all to survive. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to look at it that way. This is about your survival. Again, if you think you're going to lone wolf it and you're the big, bad, tough guy and don't worry about it and you're fine, you're not going to make it long term. Because at some point, I don't care how strong you are, I don't care how tough you are, I don't care how much knowledge you have. At some point, you're going to get sick, guaranteed. You're going to get hurt, most likely going to happen, or you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're outnumbered and you're going to be in a dangerous situation. So the more people that we can have working together, getting those networks, getting things set up, would be absolutely awesome. Can we do a top 10 prepper list? Nick Herbert just said. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by a top 10, Nick. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have to ask Alaskan Prepper how many boxes should be bought in one purchase. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. So, yeah, okay, Happy Homesteader, go down with a fight. Absolutely, you want to go down with a fight. But I would rather be in a group and survive the fight and not just go down. I don't expect any of us not to go down with a fight. But if you have a band, let's say there's a band of 200 rogue bad dudes out there, bad dudes and ladies out there doing bad things, and they're coming and they're hitting places and they're, ransacking, raping, murdering, doing whatever they're going to do. And let's say you got 50 of you, but you have 50 people that know what they're doing and they're prepared and they're ready. And when that roving band comes through and they try to take your group down, you make their losses so extreme that they go away and they don't come back. Because they're going to look for easier pickings. They're not going to go after the heavily fortified, well-armed compounds. They're not going to do it. They want to pick off that homesteader that's by themselves, got their own little garden, their own little place. That's who they want to go after. So let's try to, like I said, again, I think it's important that we work together. I really do. Okay. I want to thank my moderators for doing an awesome job like they always do. For keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for doing what you do. I do appreciate it. And so thank you for that. Also, I want to remind everybody that we really truly are all in this together. That is important to remember. And I think people need to take that into consideration. It is really, really important that we work together. Try to do the best that we possibly can because we just never know. We're one race, folks, called the human race. And when we can get away from the other nonsense that they perpetuate constantly in the media, good example would be the latest thing that's gone on with Coca-Cola, right? Try to be less white. Boy, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about stirring up controversy? How ridiculous is something like that? Okay. Again, it's all about dividing us, making us angry, not willing to work together. That's what all those type of things are about. Let's not let them do that to us. Let's plan on working together. Okay. So, again, I think that that's a good thing. So, anyway, also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. It's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Oh yeah, and by the way, too, I'm done drinking Pepsi, or not Pepsi, Coke. I won't purchase a Coke product again. That's the way I'll protest. They've lost my business, so that's not going to happen anymore. So I think it's ridiculous that they would do that to people. But anyway, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that can stop you from reaching those goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. Work methodically, set your goals, make them happen, and you'd be amazed how much stuff can get done. It is unbelievable if you work at it. Okay. Also, just be smart, guys. Keep prepping, keep getting ready. And again, if you want to be part of the Prepper Underground Railroad, I don't know why I'm saying that wrong today, but Railroad. There we go. Okay. If you want to be part of that, please shoot me an email, preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your number. I will contact you and we will go from there. Okay. And again, this is all voluntary. If you don't want to be part of the Underground Railroad, you don't have to be. You can go off and be solo. But I'm going to tell you what, I like my chances knowing I got people that I can trust and that are going to have my back. That's what I like. So, but anyway, um, everybody, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for all being here. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Be safe, guys. Continue to prep, continue to get ready, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.